Morning folks, Andy here from Bushcraft. Hope you're having a nice day and welcome to another video. So folks, I'm out in my local woodlands, just not too far from home, just walking rusty, but I used the opportunity to come out and film this quick video. A few weeks ago, I think maybe 5 or 6 weeks ago now, I was tagged by Simon, from Simon a Bloke in the Woods, to take part in this tag where you choose 5 of your outdoor favourite pieces of outdoor kit and basically just discuss some for a few minutes, and then at the end you nominate 5 other people to take part. He nominated me I think about 5 or 6 weeks ago now for this, but I've been away with work for the past 3 months. Left the first week in January and I just got back a week or so ago. Probably depending on when this video goes out, it'll be a week or so ago. So I haven't been able to film anything, do anything. The videos that I did upload in January, February, March, they were filmed before the new year, and then I edited them, uploaded them and scheduled them to come out on the days that they did. So while I was away, there wasn't no content coming out. There was at least a little bit here and there. So yeah, this is the response to that video from Simon back then when he tagged me in it. So the first item I'll discuss is the seating pad, and I'm not going to talk about these in any preference or order of favouritism. I'm just going to talk about this first so I can sit back down on it again. But I made this myself, and it's 2 pieces of foam roll mat glued together and a piece of mylar blanket glued on top. And I took this wool blanket and this brown waterproof nylon material, sewed it along 3 sides and slipped the foam roll mat inside it, and then sewed it along the final edge, and it just keeps it all together. But it provides me with a dry, comfortable spot to sit on the floor, so I don't have to sit on this cold, wet, damp ground or sit straight onto this damp, cold, fallen log. It also provides me with a place to kneel on. If there's any tasks that I need to do where it's not comfortable or safe, if you like, to do it sat down, then I can kneel down on this, and it prevents me from, again, kneeling down on the cold, damp ground. But what it also does, I've got a bit of a bad knee, so it gives me a bit of cushioning to kneel down on rather than just the hard ground. What it also does is the fire starts to die down. I can use this to sort of waft the coals, and it brings it back to life. But its main thing is for seating on. Second thing I'll discuss is my ferro rods. This is probably the first thing I can ever remember making by myself. It has been sort of revamped and done over the years. To be honest, the only thing that's ever stayed the same is the rod and the handle itself, but the leather belt loop's been modified over the years, and the lock-in paracord lanyard that I use now. This is my own one, and I kind of use it as a sort of prototype for new design features. Every now and again I do make these type of ferro rods and I'll sell them on eBay, and like I said, I'll use mine as a prototype for a new design idea and test it out to see how it works, like the paracord looking lanyard. I did it on mine first to see how well it worked being out and about, and I now use it on the ones that I do sell on eBay when I do put them together. But yeah, the reason it's one of my favourite is, even though it's a sort of modern man-made item, it still affords you to keep within nature, in the sense that you need tinder to start fire. So you're out in the woods, you've got an item that will guarantee you fire, whether it's wet or dry, cold or hot, but you need to go out into the natural areas and look for the tinder. So this is coniferous woodland. There'll be fat wood here if you look for it. There'll be pines set up on the trees, leaking out of wounds from the trees that you could use. There's birch trees over that way that are downed, so there's birch bark there. There's dead bracken and a patch over that way, so there's dead bracken. Feather sticks, and over there there's a sort of little swamp area, and it's got cattail in it. So there's lots of natural things that I can use this modern man-made item with, and it'll still have the natural sense to being out here, if that even made sense. It did in my head, and I apologise if it didn't make sense outright. So that's my second item. My third item is this. It's not the green pouch. I made the green pouch as well. It's an old water bottle with a leather flap and a snap to keep what's inside in it. But it's basically my field sharpening strop. I've spent a lot of money over the years. There's only the one pin left, must have dropped out. Usually there's two pins in there as well, and I'll explain that in a minute. But yeah, back to it. I spent a bit of money, if you like, on various stones over the years. Some quite high end ones, some low end ones, some in between ones, and even going down to the beach and taking stones off the beach and seeing how they fared at, you know, keeping a decent edge on my knife while out and about. And then one day I stumbled across this type of stone, and it's called a ruby sharpening stone. And to be honest, I've only ever seen them come from China, and I get it off eBay. And they are very reasonably priced, I think. From what I can remember, they're made from sintered crystals of synthetic ruby, and it's rated to be a 3000 grit stone. It's really hard. The other thing feature about it I like is you don't need to lubricate it, you don't need water, and you don't need oil to use it. You can use your stone in it dry, your knife on it dry. Just every now and again, just wipe it with a damp cloth to give it a clean. But this is 15 centimetres long, 2 centimetres wide, and 1 centimetre thick. And this will last the rest of my life, as long as it doesn't break or I lose it, or etc, etc. But this will last the rest of my life, I know it will. It's so hard, it's unreal. But I've never ever put a better edge on my knife when out in the fields than before, till I found this stone, this type of stone. It's amazing, and for the price, you can't ask for anything better. But I glued it onto this piece of brown acrylic, and I left about a centimetre overhanging on each end and drilled a couple little holes, and so that I could put them down on a log like that or whatever, and put the pins in those holes. I've only got one in there, one must have fallen out, but I usually keep a couple in there, and I can knock the pins in and that'll keep that in place so I can sharpen my knife on it. And on the bottom, piece of leather glued on as well for a strop. And this combination is absolutely outstanding in my eyes while out in the bush. So yeah, that's my third favourite item. So the third item that I wanted to talk about, is it the third? Fourth even, sorry, is my new knife that I had made by Stainthorp. And that's it. I designed it myself, and I basically took the features that I like the best from two knives that I've used over the years, which is the SE6 and the Untitled Chapter. In their own rights, they're great knives, but there was just features that I liked from each knife that I wish I could have together, and really the only way that I could have it together was by carrying both of them. But I couldn't really warrant carrying both of them, it seemed a bit excessive. So I decided to design my own knife and take the features that I like from both of those knives and put them into one knife, and then got in touch with Guy Stainthorp from Stainthorp Knives, and he made it for me. So the handle is blue maple burl stabilised handle scales with white liners. The steel is RWL 34 stainless steel. It's 4mm stock. The blade length is about 4.5 inches, same with the handle, and it's a full flat grind. And like I says, I took the features that I like best from those two knives and put them into one tool. And it also comes with a Kydex sheath, and it's a horizontal carry. I chose the Kydex sheath because I've never, other than the plastic moulded sheath that comes with the SE, I've never had a Kydex sheath before. And you have the choice of, you can have a Kydex sheath or you can have a leather sheath when he makes the knife. And I says Kydex sheath because without blowing my own trumpet, I'd say I'm pretty dab-handed when it comes to leather work now. So if it turns out I don't really get along with the Kydex sheath, I'll make my own leather sheath. But so far I have done. I haven't really found an issue with it yet. But yeah, that's my fourth item. I'm going to do later on down the line, maybe 6 or 8 months down the line, I'll do a much more in-depth video about the knife, its design and how it all came about and all that sort of things. But I'm not going to go into too much detail about it now. Suffice to say that it's beautiful and I absolutely love it, and so far it's been able to do everything that I want it to do, outstandingly well. The fifth and last item that I consider my favourite item, and it's not as a compass, and it's not this compass. I don't have any sentiment towards it. It's more just the idea of the compass, in the sense that, and this might sound corny to you, I don't really care, but I kind of see this as the key to the outdoors, the key to the wilderness, whatever you want to call it. I've mentioned it many times in a few of my videos, I think, where I think you can be the best spoon carver in the world, you can be a bow drill ninja, but if you can't, you know, navigate yourself from the car park out to point A to point B to point C back to the car park, you're playing a dangerous game being out there. I think it's one of the most important skills. I'm confident that I can take a map and a compass and go out to the woods, get myself out to where I want to go and come back again. And I think it's a skill that everyone, not in just bushcraft, but any outdoor skill, any outdoor pursuit, if you like, you need to know how to use this with a map. It's just a good safety thing. But yeah, that's my fifth and favourite item, is a compass, method of navigation. So yeah, that's my 5 items. And what I have to do now is nominate 5 other people to take part. So I've written them down. I'm sure the first one, and it's going to go in line with the navigation stuff, and I'll mention that, is Craig from the Bushcraft Padawan. I've been watching him from when he first started, and he's a really cool guy. The thing I like about him is he's so confident on camera that you can't help but watch and listen to what he's got to say. He's new to the bushcraft thing. He's said it himself, and I've said it myself, not experts, and just documenting our time as we go along, what we're doing. So his idea is he'll go out to do a video, and maybe an overnighter video, and he'll go out with sort of like 3 objectives of things he wants to practice when he goes out, and he'll practice some, and however he gets on with it is how he gets on with it. But he'll sort of do a debrief at the end, if you like, of how he got on with it and where he needs to work, where he needs a bit more practice, or a bit more tuition in this or a bit more tuition in that, etc, etc. I really like the honesty of it. But on the other side of things is the navigation. He's got a wealth of knowledge when it comes to navigation. As I understand it, he used to instruct it in the military, and that's where I learned to do navigation, was when I was in the military. So he was an instructor in it. He does tutorial type videos about map reading and navigation on his channel. So if it is something that you're lacking in, which I've said I think it's an important skill to learn, and it's one of the ones that is overlooked, is map reading navigation, because it's not cool, it's not sexy subject. So yeah, his channel for his general stuff that he does, but if navigation is something you're particularly interested in learning, his channel is one I would recommend watching. Yeah, good old Craig. Also, next one is Mel from the Bushcraft Biker. I like watching her channel because she's so enthusiastic about it. You can see when she's out there doing what she does. Again, she's another one who's like she's not a basic at it. She's a beginner at it. That's the word. And she's, you know, documenting her way through it. Like, come on, buddy, I'm trying to talk to the peeps here. And she's sort of documenting her experiences as she goes along. But she's so enthusiastic and so bubbly. She's just so fun to watch, and I love watching her channel as well. Next one is Joe from Hooped Bivvy Wild Camper. I'm always so jealous of him because he's always out doing wild camps. Like, I think I probably did about 3 last year that I was able to film. I did a couple more that I didn't film, and a bit of camping with my family. But he gets out a lot, and obviously he takes us along with us. He's not like a sort of tutorial channel or any of that. He goes out and he does his thing, and he films himself doing it, and I love watching it. He's living the dream. So yeah, Joe from Hooped Bivvy Wild Camper. The fourth one is Tom from Back Garden Bushcraft. As the name sort of suggests, he practices bushcraft in his back garden. He's not just confined to his back garden, he does get away to some beautiful places and does overnighters and such. He's got a lot of experience when it comes to sort of friction fire, natural fire, and axe work. I really like watching his channel as well. He's very into his carving as well, so if you follow on him on Instagram, you'll see a lot of his carving that he does. Wait, one sec, he's just down there chewing a stick by the camera. Go. And then the last one, apologies, Rusty knocked the camera. Right, my last one is NW Primate, and I'm fairly new to his channel. Well, so far of all the videos I've watched, he doesn't talk in them. He demonstrates it, but the cinematography of what he's doing is stunning. The music that goes along with it, the various angles of the shots, it's mesmerising to watch. But the actual content of the videos is awesome as well. He's very into, I say it's a him, I don't think I've actually seen him on camera yet, it could be a woman I suppose. It's friction fire, various hand drill, bow drill, etc. And he does some really nifty versions of, I mean, one of the ones I watched him doing is he was doing the bow drill, so he used an axe to carve it all down, but as cordage he used the mylar blanket. He sort of cut a strip of the mylar blanket away and then twisted it into cordage and then used that as the cordage for the bow drill and started the fire. But yeah, that's a really good channel. I really like watching that. You'll get great tips with friction fire, and also they're a joy to watch because they're filmed beautifully. So yeah, that's my 5 items and that's my 5 nominations. So yeah, thanks again Simon, I appreciate it bud. And thanks again for everyone who's watching, really appreciate you doing so. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Take care. Take care.